pleasure to welcome you to the Doris Pepper White Community Playhouse in this afternoon's production of the Trip to Bountiful. I'm Nancy Wonders. I'm director of the show and a 25-year volunteer here at the Playhouse. And I want to tell you that Theatricos has been in the business of bringing live theater to Flagstaff for 47 years. A very important part of your local community and arts community. Thank you very much for buying a ticket today. I know that there are many choices this weekend of things you could be doing, although we did get you out of the wind, and so I think that's pretty good. Tickets are a major part of our actually financial portfolio. We couldn't do these shows if people didn't just purchase tickets and come, and so really we want to thank you very much for doing that, and also to remind you that tickets make great gifts. So think about it. Next time you're getting something for someone for a birthday or a holiday, what better gift than the gift of live theater all year long? So please keep that in mind. We also are a 501c3 nonprofit organizations. Donations are taken at any time. They're also deeply appreciated. And if you take a look in your program, you'll see that we list those who have donated, as well as our many local sponsors who are businesses. I ask you to consider supporting those businesses that support the arts because they help to make a vibrant community here in Flagstaff. We welcome you to get involved in volunteer opportunities here at our Playhouse. This is a volunteer organization. You can find those listed on our website. We'd welcome you to be on our stage or backstage or helping to build our sets. And so those opportunities, again, are easy to locate there. We also know from a recent patron survey that the best way to learn about productions is word of mouth. And so if you enjoyed today's show, please remember to tell friends to come and see the performances. We do have one more weekend of performances for this show, and we really hope to have full houses for that. So spread the word. We do have an exciting list of summer events coming up. I'll just mention a couple again. Would ask you to go to our website to learn about others. Theatric Kids is presenting Starlight Express. They'll be on roller skates from June 28th through July 1st. The Studio Series is featuring a very interesting and provocative new play about climate change called 2 Degrees. That'll be July 6th through 8th. And our next main stage show is a comedy and a musical called Ruthless. That will open July 27th. Just a few reminders, if you haven't done so already, please do turn off your cell phones. And it's really ideal if you would turn them off. We have live actors, we have telephones that ring here, and if it's ringing out there, it's going to be a big problem. So I ask you to take a moment to do that. You'll see 2 exit signs. I don't think you'll need them, but I like to always point those out to you. And then, as noted in the lobby, this show will be running without intermission. It is a request of the playwright that we run it without the intermission. I think you'll find it to be a very enjoyable experience. It's less than a feature film. It'll be under 2 hours. And so I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. I think you'll find that refreshing. Smoking, photography, and video recording are strictly prohibited in the Playhouse. And the final thing I want to say to you is that I hope you enjoy this show. Thank you for being here.
Softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling for you and for me. See on the portals, he's waiting and watching, watching for you and for me. Come home. Come home, ye who are weary, come home.
Don't be afraid of making noise, Sonny. I'm awake.
Yes, ma'am.
Pretty night.
Sure is.
Couldn't you sleep?
No, ma'am.
Why couldn't you sleep?
I just couldn't. Couldn't you sleep?
No, I haven't been to bed at all.
It's gonna be a bad accident at that corner one of these days.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I think the whole state of Texas is going to meet its death on the highways. I don't see what pleasure they get in driving these cars as fast as they do. Do you?
No, ma'am. But then there's a lot of things I don't understand. Never did, never will, I guess.
Is Jessie May asleep?
Yes, ma'am. And that's why I figured I'd better come out here. I got to toss and turning, so I was worried I was going to wake up Jessie May.
You're not worried about your job, are you, Sonny?
Oh, ma'am. I don't think so. Everybody there seems to like me. I was thinking about asking for a raise.
Oh, you should, as hard as you work.
How couldn't you sleep, Mama?
Oh, because there's a full moon. I never could sleep when there was a full moon, even back in Bountiful. When I'd been working out in the fields all day and I'd be so tired I'd think my legs were going to give out on me. Let there be a full moon and I'd just toss the night through. I've given up trying to sleep on nights like this. I just sit and watch out the window and think my thoughts. Oh, I used to love to look out the window back at Bountiful. Once when you were little and there was a full moon, I woke you up and dressed you and took you for a walk with me. Do you remember?
No, ma'am.
You don't?
No, ma'am.
Oh, I do. I remember just like it was yesterday. I dressed you and took you outside, and there was an old dog howling away off somewhere, and you got scared and started crying. I said, "Son, why are you crying?" And you said someone had told you that when a dog howled, a person was dying someplace. Oh, I just held you close to me because you were trembling with fear. And then you asked me to explain to you about dying. I said you were too young to be worried about things like that for a long time to come. Penny for your thoughts.
Ma'am?
A penny for your thoughts.
I didn't have any, Mama. Wish we had a yard here. Part of my trouble is I get no exercise. It's funny the things you think about when you can't sleep. I was trying to remember that song I used to like to hear you sing back at home. I always used to laugh when you sing.
Oh, which song was that?
I don't remember the name of it. I just remember I'd always laugh when you'd sing it.
Oh, yes, that old song. What was the name of it?
I don't know.
Oh, let's see. I hate not to be able to think of something. It's on the tip of my tongue. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that mockingbird don't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. Oh, I used to think I was gonna buy you the world back in those days. I remember remarking that to my papa, and he said the world can't be bought. I didn't rightly understand what he meant then. Ludy? Would you like me to get you some hot milk?
Yes, ma'am, if you don't mind.
Oh, I don't mind at all. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that mockingbird don't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. Ludy! Ludy!
Mommy and Jessie, ma'am, Mama's not asleep.
You want butter and pepper and salt in it?
Yes, ma'am, if it's not too much trouble.
No trouble at all.
Ludy, why don't you turn on the lights? What's the sense of sitting around in the dark? Oh no, what woke me up? I was sleeping sound as a log, and then all of a sudden I woke up and looked over in bed. You weren't there. Where's your mama?
In the kitchen.
What's she doing out there?
Fix me some hot milk.
Putter, putter, putter. Honestly. Couldn't you sleep?
Uh-oh.
Well, how do you expect to work tomorrow if you don't get your sleep, Ludy?
I'm hoping the hot milk will make me sleepy. I slept last night. I don't know what got into me tonight.
You didn't sleep the night before last.
I know, but I slept the night before that.
I don't think your mama's even been to bed. What's the matter with you that you can't sleep, Mother Watts?
Oh, it's a full moon, Jessie May.
What's that got to do with this?
Well, I never could sleep when there was a full moon.
That's just your imagination. I don't know what's the matter with you all. I never had any trouble sleeping in my life. I guess I have a clear conscience. The only time I remember having any trouble sleeping was that night I spent out at Bountiful. The mosquitoes like they had chewed me up. I never saw such mosquitoes. Regular gallows nippers. Mother Watts, where did you put that recipe Rosella gave me on the phone today?
What recipe was that, Jessie May?
What recipe was that? She only gave me one. The one I wrote down when I was talking to Rosella this morning. You remember, I asked you to find me a pencil.
Yes, I remember something about it.
And then I asked you to put it away on the top of my dresser.
Jessie May, I don't remember you having given me any recipe.
Well, I did.
Well, I certainly have no recollection of it.
You don't.
No, ma'am.
I swear, Mother Watts, you just don't have any memory at all anymore.
Jessie May.
I handed it to you this morning in this very room, and I said to please put it on my dresser, and you said, I will, and you went holding it in your hands.
I did?
Yes, you did.
Well, did you look on your dresser?
Yes, ma'am.
And it wasn't there?
No, ma'am, I looked right before I went to bed.
Well, let me look around.
I swear, have you noticed how forgetful she's getting? I definitely think her memory is going. Honestly, it just gets on my nerves. We're just gonna have to get out a little more, Ludi. No wonder you can't sleep. You get up in the morning, you go to work, you come home, you have your supper, you read the paper, and then you go right off to bed. And the couple I know goes out 3 to 4 times a week. Now, I know we couldn't afford it before, so I kept quiet about it, but we're working again, and I don't think a picture show once or twice a week will break us. We don't have a car. We don't go to nightclubs. We have to do something.
Okay, why don't we go out one night this week?
I mean, I think we have to. I was talking to Rosella about it this morning, and she said she didn't know how we stood it. And I said, well, Rosella, we have Mother Watts, and it's hard for us to leave her alone.
When did you and Rosella get friendly again?
This morning, she just all of a sudden called me up on the telephone. She said she would quit being mad if I would. I said, shucks, I wasn't mad in the first place. She was the one that was mad. I told her I was plain spoken and said exactly what I felt, and people would just have to take me as I am or leave me alone. I said, furthermore, I had told her the truth when I remarked that that beauty parlor must have seen her coming a long way down the road when they charged her good money for that last permanent they gave her. She said she agreed with me now entirely and had stopped patronizing that beauty shop. Rosella found out definitely that she can't have any children. Walk, don't run. You know, your mother's pension check didn't come today. It's the 18th. I swear it was due. I don't understand the government. Always late. Did you find it?
Not yet.
Well then, forget about it. Look for it in the morning.
No, I'm gonna look for it till I find it.
Honestly, Ludi, she's so stubborn. I just love this song and the singer. I can listen to him all day. Now what are they knocking about? Do you consider this on too loud?
There's no use in arguing with them, Jessie, man.
They'd like it if we didn't breathe.
Well, it is kind of late.
Who played the captain in Mutiny on the Bounty?
Search me.
They're running a contest in here, but I never saw such hard questions. Rosella said Jim used to have trouble sleeping. She said a man told him to lie in bed and count backwards, and that would cure him. He tried it, and she said it did. She said you start with 100, and instead of going forwards, you go backwards. 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95. She said it would just knock him out.
Just, man, how about we take you to a baseball game one night this week? Series is getting good. I think Houston has one of the best teams they've had in a long time. I'd sure like to be there when they play Shreveport. I used to play baseball back at Bountiful. I used to rather play baseball than even when I was a kid.
Come on, let's go to bed. The car smashed up out there. Nope, they missed each other. 6 cars smashed up on the freeway to Galveston, I read yesterday in the Chronicle, one right on top of another. I bet they were all drunk. Been down to Galveston, gambling likely. I think all of Houston goes down to Galveston gambling and drinking. Everybody but us. I don't see how some people hold down their jobs the way they drink and gamble, do you?
No, I don't.
Well, that's why I told Rosella that it was hard for me to keep from calling up to a boss and giving him a piece of my mind for paying you the salary he pays you. Like I told Rosella, you're so steady and so conscientious, and they take advantage of your good nature. Maybe you're too steady, Ludi. Rosella said she was glad to hear you were working again. She said she was cleaning out a couple of drawers night before last and had come across some pictures of us she'd taken when we started going together. I said, I don't care to see them. No, thank you. Passing the time makes me sad. That's why I never want a house with a room to keep a bunch of junk in to remind you of things that you're better off forgetting. If we ever get any money, you wouldn't catch me buying a house. I'd move into a hotel and have me room service.
Here's your recipe, Jessie Mae.
Well, thank you, but I told you not to bother. Where'd you find it?
In your room.
In my room?
Yes, ma'am.
Where in my room?
In your dresser drawer, left-hand side.
In my dresser drawer.
Yes, ma'am. I looked on top of the dresser and it wasn't there, and then something said
Mother
to me-
Watts,
Ma'am.
Ludi, how many times have I asked her never to go into my dresser drawer?
I thought you wanted me to find your recipe.
Well, I don't want you going in my dresser drawers. I'd like a little privacy if you don't mind.
Yes, ma'am.
And just never let me catch you looking in them again. For anything, I can't stand people snooping around my dresser drawers.
All right. Then next time you find it yourself.
You pick that recipe up if you please.
Pick it up yourself. I have no intention of picking it up.
You pick that up.
I won't.
Mama,
You will.
Jessie May, for God's sakes, you are both acting like children. It is 1:30 in the morning.
You tell her to pick that up.
I won't.
You will. This is my house. You do as you're told. Oh, I hope you're satisfied. You got Ludi good and upset. What do you want to do? Get him sick again? Shut up! You're gonna go too far with me one of these days, old lady. I can't stand this, Ludi. I'm at the end of my rope. I won't take being insulted by your mother or anyone else. You hear that?
Mama, will you give this recipe to Jessie May? Mama, will you please tell Jessie May you're sorry?
Ludi.
Please, Mama.
All right, Ludi.
Jessie May,
What do you want, Ludi?
Mama has something she wants to say to you.
What is it?
Sorry, Jessie May, for throwing the recipe on the floor.
I accept your apology. Come on, Ludi, let's all go to bed.
All right.
You better go to bed too, Mother Watts. A woman your age ought to have better sense than to sit up half the night.
Yes, ma'am.
Good night, Mama.
Good night, Ludi.
Jessie May, I know it's hard and all, but sometimes I think for your own sake, if you just try to ignore certain things.
Ignore? How do you ignore something when it's done under your very nose?
Look, Jessie May.
I know her, Ludi. She does things just to aggravate me. Well, I hope she's happy now. She aggravated me. Now, you take her hymn singing. She never starts that till I come into the room. And her pouting, why, sometimes she goes all day just sitting and staring out the window. How would you like to spend 24 hours a day shut up with a woman who either sang hymns or stared out the window and pouted? You couldn't ignore it, and don't tell me you could. No, there's only one thing to do, and that's to say, quit it every time she does something like that until she stops for good and all.
I'm not saying it's easy, Jessie May. I'm only saying that...
Let's change the subject. I don't want to get mad all over again. She just keeps me so nervous, never knowing when I leave whether she's going to try to run off to that old town or not.
She's not going to run off again, Jessie May. She promised me she would.
What she promised and what she...
Now she can't run off, Jessie May. Her pension check hasn't come. You said so yourself.
Well, I'm not too sure that check hasn't come. Sometimes I think she hides that check. And I'll tell you right now, if it's not here tomorrow, I'm going to search his house from top to bottom.
Now I know that check will come tomorrow.
I hope so. Rosella says that she thinks it's terrible how close I have to stay here. Well, I told Rosella that since your mother started that running off business, I don't feel easy going. I used to love it when I could get up from the breakfast table with an easy mind, go downtown and shop all morning, have a sandwich and a Coke or a salad at the cafeteria, see a picture show in the afternoon and then come home. That was fun. Shh, I think I hear your mother still up.
Mama, you still awake?
Yes, I just don't feel like sleeping, Ludi. You go on back to bed. Don't worry about me.
All right.
Was she still up?
Yes.
I knew it. I can never leave this house except to go to the beauty parlor, and I'm not giving that up for anyone. I told Rosella that. I said no one was more faithful to a husband than I was to Ludi when he was sick. But even then, I went to the beauty parlor at least once a week. I mean, I had to.
I wanted you to.
I know you did. That was a good supper we had tonight, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mama's a good cook.
Yes, she is. I'll have to hand that to her. And an economical one. Well, she enjoys cooking. I guess you're born to enjoy it. I could never understand how anyone could get any pleasure standing over a hot stove, but she seems to. Rosella asked me if I realized it would be 15 years in August since we were married. I hadn't realized that, had you?
That's right, Jessie Mae. It'll be 15 years this August. Huh.
I hate to think of time going that fast. I never will forget the night I came home and told Rosella that you had proposed. I thought you were the handsomest man alive.
And I thought you were the prettiest girl.
Did you, Ludi? I guess I did have my good features. People used to tell me I looked like a cross between Joan Crawford and Clara Bow. And I thought you were the smartest man in the world. I still do. The thing that burns me up is that you don't let other people know it.
Jessie Mae, I just gotta start making some more money. I'm thinking about asking for a raise. I'm entitled to it. I've been there 6 months now, and I haven't been late or sick once. I gotta do it. I gotta ask for a raise tomorrow. First thing in the morning, I'm gonna walk into Mr. Douglas's office. I'm just gonna take the bull by the horns, and I'm gonna say, Mr. Douglas, I gotta have a raise starting as of now. We can't live on what you pay us. We have Mother's pension check to help us out, and if we didn't have that, I don't know what we'd do.
Well, I would.
I don't understand it, Jessie Mae. I try not to be bitter. I try not to be. But I don't know. All I know is the man works 8 years with the company. He saves a little money. Then he gets sick. He has to spend 2 years in bed. Watching his savings all go. And he has to start all over again at a new company. I know the doctor says I shouldn't worry about it. I should take things as they come every day. And that's what I try to do. But how can you help worrying when you end up holding your breath every month to see if you're going to make ends meet?
You can't help being nervous. A lot of people get nervous. What's this book?
Oh, I picked it up at the drugstore on my way home from the office.
How to Become an Executive. What's that about?
Teaches you how to prepare yourself for an executive position. Except there might be some helpful things in it.
You sleepy, Ludi?
No, not yet.
I'm not either. I wish I had something good to eat. I wish the drugstore was open. We could get us some ice cream. I wish I had my movie magazine
Where is it?
in the living room.
I get it.
No, honey, I don't want to get your mother awake. You rest. Rosella cried like her heart would break when she told me she couldn't have any children. She wanted to know how I stood it, not having children. And I said, I don't know about Ludi, because you can't always tell what he feels, but I stand if I never thinking about it. I have my own philosophy about these things anyway. I think things like that are in the hands of the Lord, don't you, Ludi?
I guess so.
I've been as good a wife to you as I know how. And if the Lord doesn't want to give us children, all the worrying in the world won't help. Do you think?
No, it won't.
Anyway, like I told Rosella, I don't have the money to be running around the doctors about it, even if I wanted to.
Listen, man, if I get that right, first thing I want you to do is go buy yourself a new dress.
Why, thank you, Ludi. Besides, when you were sick, what would I have done if I had a bunch of kids to worry me? What are you thinking about?
This book.
Ludi, you ever think back over the past?
No.
I don't either. I started today a little when Rosella brought up that 15-year business, but I think it's morbid. Your mother does it all the time.
My boss likes me. Billy Davidson said he was positive he did. Billy's been there 10 years now, you know, and he said he thought he liked my work a lot. You sleepy yet?
Are you?
Yes, I am. Good night.
Good night.
Mama,
I'm all right, Looney. I'm just still not sleepy.
are you sure you're all right?
Yes, I am.
Good night.
Looney, please. I want to go home.
Mama, you know I can't make a living there. We have to live in Houston.
Looney, son, I can't stay here any longer. I want to go home.
I beg you not to ask me that again. There's nothing I can do about it.
Still up?
Oh. Good night.
Good night.
Looney, it's 8:15 by the drugstore clock.
Yes, I'm coming, Mama.
Looney.
Coming, Mama. Good morning.
Good morning, son.
Did you ain't sleep at all last night?
Oh, yes, don't worry about me. There's not a friend like the lowly.
It's too early for him singing. Good morning, Mother Watts. Louie, turn that radio down, please, before they start knocking again.
Want me to turn it off?
Oh, you might as well.
I'll have your toast ready for you in a minute.
Walk, don't run. I've got to get me out of this house today, if no more than to ride downtown and back on the bus.
Why don't you?
If Mother Watts' pension check comes, I'll go to the beauty parlor. I'm just as tense. I think I got a trip to the beauty parlor coming to me.
Well, go whether that check comes or not. It doesn't cost that much.
Mother Watts, will you skip down to the mailbox and see if the mail has come? Your pension check ought to be here, and I want to get me to the beauty parlor.
Yes, ma'am.
Moody, she's acting silent again. Don't you think she's acting silent?
Hadn't noticed.
Well, she definitely is. And you can say what you please, but to me it's always a sure sign she's about to run off when she starts acting silent.
Now, she's not gonna run off again, Jesse. She promised me last time she would.
Well, she just better not. What do you want, Moody?
More coffee.
Oh, keep your seat, I'll get it.
I'll get it.
No, I want to get it. You'll have a tiring day ahead of you. You rest while you can.
Where's Jessie May?
In the kitchen.
There was no mail, Jessie May.
Has it been delivered yet?
I don't know.
Did you look in the other boxes to see whether there was any mail?
No, ma'am, I didn't think to.
I'll check on the way out. How about we have an early supper tonight? 6:30, if that's all right with you, Mama? Then after supper, I'll take you both out to the picture show.
Oh, that's fine. What would you like to see, Ludi?
Oh, whatever you want to see, Jessie May. You know best about the picture shows. I want to get to the office a little bit early this morning. Miss Douglas is usually there by 9. I'd like a chance to talk to him before the others get there. I think I'm doing the right thing asking for this raise, don't you?
Sure. I think I'll call the beauty parlor and see if I can get an appointment. I hope I can still get one. Hello, Rita. This is Jessie May Watts. Can I have an appointment for my hair? The usual. 4 o'clock. Nothing earlier? All right, I'll see you then. Well, I can't get an appointment till 4 o'clock.
I'm ready to go. Wish me luck on that race.
Good luck, Ludi.
Bye, Mama.
Bye, son.
I wonder if there's any mail down there so we won't be running up and down looking for mail that won't be there.
All right.
That pension check should have been here yesterday, shouldn't it, Mother Watts?
I reckon so.
No mail for us.
All right. I just can't understand about that pension check, can you?
No, ma'am.
I hope it isn't lost. You know, you're so absent-minded, you don't think you put it around the room someplace by mistake and forgot about it, do you?
I don't believe so.
You know, you said you lost that pension check once before and it took us 5 days to find it. I came across it under this radio.
I don't think I did that again, Jessie May.
What can I do till 4 o'clock? What are you going to do today?
Oh, I thought I'd give the kitchen a good cleaning, put fresh paper on the shelves, and clean the icebox.
Well, I have a lot of things I have to do. I got a couple of drawers I could straighten up. Or maybe I'll put flowers on that red dress of mine if I wear that red dress tonight. I can't decide what dress I'm going to wear. Well, if I wear that red dress tonight, I'll wear this print one to the beauty parlor. Oh, what? There you go again. You never walk when you can run. You know, it's none of my business, and I know you don't like me to suggest anything, but I don't think a woman your age should go running around a 3-room apartment like a cyclone. It's really not necessary, Mother Watts. You never walk when you can run. I wish for once you'd listen to me.
I'm listening, Jessie May.
Oh, you're not listening to a word. Mother Watts, are you feeling okay? You look a little pale.
Yes, I'm feeling fine, Jessie May.
Do you need anything from the drugstore?
Well, let me think a moment, Jessie May.
Because if you do, I'd walk over and get me a Coke. We don't need toothpaste. We don't need toothbrushes. I got a bottle of Listerine yesterday. Can you think of anything that we need from the drugstore?
Did you get that nail polish you mentioned?
Yes, I have that. I just hate to wait around here until 4 o'clock. I think I'll call up Rosella and tell her to meet me at the drugstore.
There's not a friend like
Would you
a
stop that
lonely
hymn singing?
Jesus.
Do you want me to jump right out of my skin? You know what hymns do to my nerves. And don't pout. You know I can't stand pouting.
Well, I didn't mean to pout, Jessie May. I only meant to be silent.
When you know it, she's not home. I bet she's at the drugstore right now. I think I'll run on over to the drugstore and take a chance on Rosella's being there. I can't decide what movie I want to see tonight. You know, when I first came to Houston, I saw 3 picture shows in one day. I went to the Kirby in the morning, the Metropolitan that afternoon, and the Majestic that night. People just don't go see picture shows the way they used to. Well, I'm ready. Would you stop that noise for a minute? I'm nervous. Now, I want you to promise me one thing, that you won't put a foot outside of this house and start that Bountiful business. You'll kill Ludi if he has to go chasing all over Houston looking for you. In the morning, you run off again, I'm calling the police. I don't care what Ludi says. All right, if Rosella calls you, tell her that I'm at the drugstore. Mother Watts,
Oh, I'm all right, Jessie Mae.
is it your heart?
No, just a sinking spell. Just let me sit a minute. I'll be all right.
Can I get you some water?
Thank you.
Do you want me to call a doctor?
Oh, no, ma'am.
Do you want me to call Ludi?
No, ma'am.
Are you feeling better?
Oh, yes, I am, Jessie Mae.
Well, do you think you ought to get up so soon?
Oh, well, yes, ma'am. I'm feeling much better already.
I'll just sit back there. Well, all right. I'll just sit here for a little bit and keep you company. How do you feel now?
Better.
Oh, good. It always scares the daylights out of me when you have a sinking spell. Of course, like I told you this morning, you wouldn't have sinking spells if you'd stop that running around. Well, it's your heart. If you don't want to take care of it, nobody can make you. But I'll tell you right now, the last thing I need is an invalid on my hands. I wish you'd think of Ludi. He's got enough to worry him without you getting down flat on your back. Hello? Oh, hello, Rosella. I tried to call you earlier. Oh, you are. That's what I thought. Well, I'd like to, Rosella, but Mother Watts has had enough.
Jessie Mae,
Hold on.
you go on, Jessie Mae. I'm going to be all right. I'll just rest here. There's nothing you can do for me.
Are you sure?
Yes, Jessie Mae, I'm sure.
Well, all right then. Rosella, I think I will come over for a little bit. Mother Watts says that she won't need me here. All right, I'll see you at the drugstore in a few minutes. Goodbye. Are you sure you're going to be all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, I'll go on over. Now, you call me at the drugstore if you need anything. You hear?
Yes, ma'am.
I forgot to take any money along with me. Who are you writing to?
Oh, I thought I'd drop a line to Callie Davis, let her know I'm still alive.
Why did you decide to do that all of a sudden?
No reason, the notion just struck me.
All right. But just in case you were trying to put something over on me with that pension check, I told Mr. Reynolds at the grocery store never to cash anything for you.
Yes?
I want a ticket to Old Gulf, please.
Yes, ma'am. Here you are. You change buses at Harrison.
I know. How much, please?
480.
Sir?
Lady,
Oh,
it's your turn.
excuse me. Oh, I'd like a ticket to Bountiful, please.
Where?
Bountiful.
What's it near?
Well, it's between Harrison and Cotton.
Just a minute. Lady,
Oh, excuse me, sir. Yes, sir.
I can sell you a ticket to Cotton or to Harrison, but there's no Bountiful.
Oh, yes, there is. It's between.
I'm sorry, lady. You say there is, but the book says there isn't, and the book don't lie.
But,
Make up your mind, lady. Cotton or Harrison, there is somebody else waiting.
yes, well, let me see. How much is a ticket to Harrison?
$3.50.
Cotton?
$4.20.
Well, then, I'll have the one to Harrison, please.
All right, that'll be $3.50, please.
Yes, sir. Could you cash a pension check for me? You see, I decided to come at the last minute and I didn't have time to stop by the grocery store.
I'm sorry, lady. I can't cash any checks.
Oh, it's perfectly good. It's a government check.
I'm sorry. It's against the rules to cash checks.
Oh, is that so? Well, I understand. A rule is a rule. How much was that again?
$3.50.
Yes, $3.50. Just a minute, sir. Got it all here in nickels and dimes and quarters. I think that's $3.50.
Thank you.
It's quite all right. I'm sorry to have taken up so much of your time.
Here, lady. Don't forget your ticket.
Oh! My heavens, yes. Whew. I'd forget my head if it wasn't on my neck.
Tulsa.
Good evening. Good evening. Is that seat taken?
No, ma'am.
Are you expecting anyone?
No, ma'am.
May I sit there?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Whew. Would you watch my suitcase, honey?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
It's a little warm, isn't it, running around here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I had to get myself ready in the biggest kind of hurry.
Are you going on a trip?
Oh, yes, I am. I'm trying to get to a town nobody ever heard of around here.
What town is it?
Bountiful. Oh, did you ever hear of it?
No.
Oh, you see, nobody has. Well, it's not much of a town now, I guess. I haven't seen it myself in 20 years. But it used to be quite prosperous. All they have left is a post office and a filling station and a general store. At least they did when I left.
Do your people live there?
Oh, no, my people are all dead. Except for my son and his wife, Desiree. They live here in the city. I'm hurrying to see Bountiful before I die. I had a sinking spell this morning and had to climb up on the bed to rest. It was my heart.
Do you have a bad heart?
Well, It's not what you would call a good one. Doctor says it'll last me as long as I needed it if I could just cut out the worrying, but it seems I can't do that lately. Excuse me. Would you keep your eye on that suitcase again?
Yes, ma'am. Lady, is there anything wrong?
Oh, no, honey. I'm just a little nervous, that's all. Say a prayer for me, honey. And good luck to you.
Oh, good luck to you.
You want to sit down, Jessie Mae?
Yes, I do. If you want to continue looking around, you go ahead. I'll just wait over here.
You're sure you checked the restroom carefully?
Yes.
You want me to get you a Coke?
No.
You want me to buy you a movie magazine?
Yes.
All right, I'll be right back.
It's warm, isn't it? I hope you're lucky enough not to have to deal with any in-laws. I got a mother-in-law about to drive me crazy. At least twice a year we have to try and keep her from getting on a train to go back to her hometown. Oh, she's so stubborn. I just wring her neck. Her son spoils her, that's the whole trouble. She's rotten spoiled. Do you live with your in-laws?
No.
Now, you're lucky. They're all stubborn. My husband is as stubborn as she is. I told Ludy at breakfast, I said, she's got that silent look, and I bet she tries to run off. But he said, no, she won't try to run off because she promised she won't. And he believes anything she tells him. I'm worn out. I've had my fourth Coca-Cola just to keep my spirits up. People ask me why I don't have children. Why? I tell them because I have Ludy and Mother Watts. That's all the children I need. What did you bring me? Oh, I've seen that one. Personally, I think we're wasting our time here. She always tries to go by train.
Well, she can't go by train, Jessie Mae.
She doesn't know that.
She ought to by now.
I'll tell you again, I think we ought to just turn this whole thing over to the police. That would scare her once and for all.
We're calling the police.
It's for her own good. She's crazy.
Now, why do you say things like that? You know Mama isn't crazy. Just wish you wouldn't say things like that.
Well, you better do something. I'll tell you that right now. Or she's going to clunk out somewhere. She's going to get to Bountiful and die from the excitement. Then we'll have all kinds of expenses bringing her body back here. Do you know how much a thing like that could cost? Do you know she had another sinking spell this morning?
I know you only told me 100 times, but what can I do about it, Jessie Mae?
I'm trying to tell you what you can do about it. You can call the police.
I'm not calling the police.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Well, then I think I will.
Excuse me. Would you like this? I never read it, but my wife has seen it.
Thank you.
Excuse me, did an old lady come here and buy a ticket to a town called Bountiful?
Well,
Bountiful.
not since I've been on duty.
How long have you been on duty?
About 5 minutes.
Where's the guy who was here before?
Oh, he went home.
Excuse me,
Yes.
I found this handkerchief here. It belongs, I think, to my mother. She has a heart condition, and it might be kind of serious for her to be all alone. I don't think she has much money, and I'd really like to find her. Do you ever haven't seen her?
Well, I
She's
just,
been trying to get to a town called Bountiful.
yes, I did see her. She was sitting here talking to me. She left all of a sudden.
Thank you so much.
Ludi,
I was right, she was here. The lady there said so.
well, it's too late now.
But this lady was talking to her.
We're not gonna wait. The police and I talked it over.
You didn't actually call them.
I did, and they said in their opinion, she's just trying to get our attention with all this. They said we should just go home and pay her no mind at all.
How can I go home without Mama?
The police tell me that they have hundreds of cases like this every day. They say such things are very common among old people. Now, we are going to do what the police tell us to. They say she'll come home when she's tired and hungry enough, and that makes a lot of sense to me. Now, Ludi, I wish you would think of me for a change. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life chasing after your mother.
All right, Jesse, man.
Come on, let's go. Come on.
All right, but if she's not home in an hour, I'm going after her.
Honestly, Ludi, you're so stubborn.
Isn't it a small world? I didn't know we'd be on the same bus. Where do you go, honey?
Harrison?
Harrison?
Yes, I change buses there.
Oh, so do I go there. Isn't that nice? Is that a moving picture magazine?
Yes, ma'am. Would you like to look at it?
Oh, no, thank you. The bus is nice to ride, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Sorry I couldn't take a train, though.
I tried to go by train, but you can get connections tonight.
I know. When I was a girl, I used to take excursions from Bountiful to Houston to Galveston. For the day, you know. You'd leave at 5 in the morning, return at 10 that night. The whole town would come down to see you get off the train. I have such fond memories of those trips. Excuse me for getting personal, but what's a pretty girl like you doing traveling alone?
My husband has just been sent overseas.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm going to stay with my family.
Just say the 91st Psalm over and over to yourself. It will be a bower of strength and protection for you. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the fowler and the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. I'm sorry, honey.
It's all right. I'm just lonesome for him.
Oh, well, keep him under the Lord's wing, honey, and he'll be safe.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I don't know what gets into me.
Oh, nobody needs to be ashamed of crying. I guess we've all dampened our pillows sometime or another. I have, goodness knows.
If only I could learn not to worry.
Well, I know. I guess we've all asked that. Jessie made my daughter-in-law don't worry. What for, she says. Well, like I tell her, that's a fine attitude if you can cultivate it. Trouble is, I can't any longer.
It is hard.
I didn't used to worry. Oh, I was so carefree as a girl. Had lots to worry me too. Everybody was so poor back in Bountiful. But we got along. I said to my papa once after our third crop fell over in a row, who ever gave this place a name of Bountiful? His papa did, he said. Because in those days, it was the land of plenty. You just had to drop seeds in the ground and crops would spring up. Cotton, corn, sugar cane. Oh, I still think it's the prettiest place I know of. Jessie May says it's the ugliest, but she only says that I know to make me mad. She only saw it once, and it was a rainy day at that. She says it's nothing but a swamp. Well, that may be, I said, but it's a mighty pretty swamp to me. And then Sonny, that's my boy Ludi, I call him Sonny. He said not to answer her back. He said it only caused arguments, and nobody ever won an argument with Jessie May. And I guess that's right.
Miss Watson.
Yes?
I don't want you to think I'm interfering in your business, but I feel I ought to tell you this. Your son and daughter-in-law came in just after you left.
Oh, I know. I saw them coming. That's why I left so fast.
Your son seems very concerned.
Bless his heart.
He found a handkerchief that you had dropped.
Oh, mercy me. That's right, I did.
He asked me if I'd seen you. I felt I had to say yes. I wouldn't have said anything if he hadn't asked me.
Oh, that's all right. I would have done the same thing in your place. Did you talk to Jessie May?
Yes.
Isn't she a sight? I bet she told you I was crazy.
Well, she...
Oh, don't be afraid of hurting my feelings. Poor Jessie May thinks everybody's crazy that don't want to sit in the beauty parlor all day and drink Coca-Colas. She tells me 1,000,000 times a day that I'm crazy. That's the only time Ludi will talk back to her. He gets real mad when she calls me crazy. I think Ludi knows how I feel about getting back with Bountiful. Once when I was talking about something we did back there in the old days, he just broke out crying. He was so overcome he had to leave the room.
That's a pretty hymn. What's the name of it?
Oh, there's not a friend like the lowly Jesus. Do you like hymns?
Yes, I do.
Oh, so do I. Jessie May says they've gone out of style, but I don't agree. I always sing one walking down the street or riding in the streetcar. Keeps my spirits up. What's your favorite hymn?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, the one I was singing is mine. I bet I sing it 100 times a day when Jessie May isn't home. Hymns make Jessie May nervous. Did Ludi mention my heart condition?
Yes, he did.
Poor Ludi, he worries about it so. I hated to leave him. Well, I hope he'll forgive me in time. So many people are nervous today. Ludi wasn't nervous back in Bountiful. Neither was I. Oh, the breeze from the Gulf would always quiet your nerves. You could sit on your front gallery and smell that ocean blowing in around you. I regret the day I left, but I thought it was the best thing at the time. Farming was so hard to make a living by, and I had to see the farm myself. The house was old, there was no money to fix it with, nor send Ludi to school. So I sold off the land and gave Ludi an education. Callie said I could always come visit her. She meant it too. That's who I'm going to stay with now, Callie Davis. I get a card from her every Christmas. I wrote her last week, told her to expect me. Told her not to answer though on account of Jessie May opens all my mail. Didn't want her to know I was going. She tried to stop me. Jessie May hates me. I don't know why, but she hates me. Well, hate me or not, I gotta get back there and smell that salt air and work the dirt. I'm gonna spend the whole first month of my visit working in Callie's garden. I haven't had my hands in dirt for 20 years. Oh, my hands feel the need of dirt. Do you like to work the ground?
I never have.
Oh, try it sometimes. It'll do wonders for you. I bet I'll live to be 100 once I get outside again. It was being cooped up in those 2 rooms that was killing me. I used to work the land like a man. I had to when Papa died. I've got 2 little babies buried there. Renee Sue and Douglas. Diphtheria got Renee Sue, and I never knew what carried Douglas away. He was just weak from the start. I know Callie's kept their grapes weeded. Oh, and my heart just holds out until I can get there. Where do you go from here, son?
Old Gulf. My parents just moved there from Louisiana. I'll stay there with them until my husband comes home again.
Oh, that's nice.
It'll be funny living at home again.
Oh, how long have you been married?
A year? My husband was anxious for me to go. He said he'd worry about my being alone. I'm the only child, and my parents and I are very close.
That's nice.
My father being in the oil business, we moved around a lot. I guess I went to school in 15 different towns along the coast. I guess moving around like that made me and my mother and father even closer. I so hoped my mother and daddy would like my husband and he'd like them. I needn't have worried. They hit it off from the very first. My mother and daddy said they have 2 children now, a son and a daughter.
Oh, isn't that nice? I've heard people say that when your son marries, you lose a son. But daughter marries, you get a son. What's your husband's name?
Robert.
Oh, that's a nice name.
I think so. But I guess I think any name he had was nice. I love my husband very much. Lots of girls I know think I'm silly about him, but I can't help it.
I wasn't in love with my husband. Do you believe we're punished for what we do wrong? Sometimes I think that's why I've had all my trouble. I've talked to many a preacher about it, and all but one said they didn't think so, but I don't see any other reason. Of course, I didn't lie to my husband. I told him I didn't love him. That I admired him, which I did, but that I didn't love him. That I never loved anybody but Ray John Murray as long as I lived. And I didn't, and I couldn't help it. Even after my husband died, I had to move back with Mama and Papa. I would sit on the front gallery every morning, every evening, just to nod hello to Ray John Murray as he went by the house to work at the store. He went a block out of his way to pass the house. He never loved nobody but me.
Why didn't you marry him?
Oh, his papa and my papa didn't speak, and my papa forced me to write a letter saying I never wanted to see him again. He got drunk and married out of spite. I felt sorry for his wife. She knew he never loved her. Oh, well, I don't think about those things anymore. But they're all part of Bountiful, and I guess that's why I started thinking of them again. You're lucky to be married to the man you love, honey.
You know I am.
Awfully lucky. Did you see that star fall over there?
No.
Oh, it was the prettiest thing I ever saw. Oh, you can make a wish on a falling star, honey.
I know. It's too bad I didn't see it.
Oh, you take my wish.
Oh, no.
Oh, go on. I've only got mine. I'm on my way to Bountiful.
Well, thank you.
Did you make a wish?
Yes, I did. Excuse me?
Yes,
Is the bus to Old Golf going to be on time?
always is.
What time is it, honey?
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock. I bet Kelly would be surprised to see me walk in at 12 o'clock.
Did you tell her you were coming today?
Oh, no, I couldn't because I didn't know. I had to wait until Jessie May went to the drugstore.
My bus leaves in half an hour.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess I better be finding out how I'm going to get on out to Bountiful.
You sit down. I'll ask the man.
Thank you.
Excuse me again?
Yes?
My friend here would like to know how she can get to Bountiful.
Bountiful?
Yes.
What's she going there for?
Well, I'm going to visit my girlhood friend.
I don't know who that's going to be. Last person in Bountiful was Mrs. Callie Davis. She died day before yesterday. That is, they found her day before yesterday. She lived all alone, so they don't know exactly when she died.
Kelly Davis?
Yes, ma'am. They had the funeral this morning. Was she the one you were going to visit?
Yes, sir. She was the one. She was my friend, my girlhood friend.
Is there a hotel here?
Yes, the Riverview.
How far is it?
About 5 blocks.
Was there a taxi around?
No, ma'am. Not this time of night.
Thank you. What do you do now, Mrs. Watts?
I'm thinking, honey, it's come as quite a blow.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I know. Well, it's come to me what to do. I'll go on. That much has come to me. To go on. I feel my strength and purpose strong within me. I'll go on to Bountiful and I'll walk those 12 miles if I have to.
But if there's no one out there, what do you do this time of night?
Yes, I guess that's right.
I think you should wait until morning.
Oh, yes, I guess I should. And then I can hire someone to drive me out there. You know what I'll do? I'll stay at my own house or what's left of it. I'll put me in a garden. I'll get along fine with the help of my government checks.
Mrs. Watts, the man says there's a hotel not too far away. I think you better let me take you there.
Oh, no, thank you. I wouldn't want to waste my money on a hotel. They're as high as cats' back, you know. I'll just sleep right here on this bench. I'll put my coat under my head, and I'll hold my purse under my arm. My purse? Have you seen my purse, honey?
No.
Oh, good heavens. I remember now. I left my purse on the bus.
You're sure you left it there?
Oh, yes, I am. I remember now. I didn't have it with me when I got off the bus. I kept thinking something was missing, and then I decided it was my suitcase that you brought in for me. What am I going to do, honey? All I have in the world is in that purse.
Excuse me again.
Yeah.
That lady left her purse on the bus?
All right. I'll call ahead. How can you identify it?
It's a plain black purse.
How much money?
35 cents in a pension check.
Who's the check made out to?
To me, Miss Carrie Watts.
All right. I'll call up about it.
Oh, thank you. You're most kind.
How long until you can get the purse back again?
If I can get ahead of the bus at Downtarl, I'll get him sent it back on the Victoria bus, and we should be here in a couple hours.
Oh, that's awful kind of you. Oh, I don't know what I would have done without you, honey.
I'll try not to worry about the purse.
Oh, I won't. I'm too tired to worry. Be timing up, start worrying when I wake up in the morning.
You go to sleep now if you can.
Oh, I know. I thought I'd stay up and see you off.
Oh no, you can go to sleep.
Oh, no, I couldn't go right off to sleep now. I'm too wound up. You know, I don't go on a trip every day of my life.
You're lucky. Bus hadn't gotten to Downtarl yet. If they can find the purse, it'll be here around 5.
Thank you so much.
Make you feel better?
Oh, yes, it does. Of course, everything has seemed to work out today. Why is it some days everything works out and some days nothing works out? What I mean is, I've been trying to get on that bus for Bountiful for over 5 years. Usually Jessie Mae and Ludy find me before I ever get inside the railroad station good. Today I got inside both the railroad station and the bus station, bought a ticket, seen Ludy and Jessie Mae before they saw me, hid out. Met a pretty friend like you, lost my purse and now I'm having it found for me. Oh, I guess the good Lord is just with me today. I wonder why the Lord isn't with us every day. It would be so nice if He was. Or maybe then we wouldn't appreciate so much the days when He's on our side. Or maybe He's always on our side and we just don't know it. Maybe I had to wait 20 years cooped up in the city before I could appreciate getting back here. Oh, there's not a friend like the lowly Jesus. No, not one. No, not one. None else could heal all our souls' diseases. No, not one. No, not one. Oh, it's so nice being able to sing a hymn when you want to. I'm a happy woman, young lady. A very happy woman.
I still have a sandwich. Will you have one?
Oh, you sure you don't want it?
No, I'm full.
Oh, then I'll have a half, thank you.
Oh, no, take the whole sandwich. I'm not hungry.
Oh, no, just a half. You know, I don't eat much, particularly when I'm excited. You know, I came to my first dance in this town.
Did you?
Yes, ma'am. It was the summertime, and my father couldn't decide if he thought dancing was right or not. But my mother said she had danced when she was a girl, and so I was gonna dance. So I went. Oh, the girls from all over the county came to this dance. It was in the opera house. I forget what the occasion was. Something special. Oh, you know something, young lady? If my daughter had lived, I would have wanted her to be just like you.
Thank you.
Just like you. Sweet and considerate and thoughtful.
Oh, no, I
Oh,
just...
yes, sweet and considerate and thoughtful and pretty.
Thank you. Mrs. Watts, I hope you don't mind me asking you this, but I worry about your son. You gonna let him know where you are?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Soon as I get that check cashed, I'm going to send him a telegram. I was telling my little friend here that I came to my first dance in this town.
Is that so?
Yes, and I've been to Harrison quite a few times and I like shopping.
Now, you better get outside, miss. Bus will be up the road. It won't wait this time of night unless it sees we have a passenger.
All right. Goodbye, Mrs. Watts.
Oh, goodbye, honey, and good luck to you, and thank you for everything.
That's all right.
Oh.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Everything all right?
Everything's just fine.
See you tomorrow.
All right. Bye. Are you gonna stay here all night?
I have to. Everything I have is in that purse, and we can't go any place without money.
I guess that's right.
Do they still have dances in Borden's Opera House?
No, ma'am. It's torn down. They condemned it, you know? Did you ever know anybody in Harrison?
I knew a few people when I was a girl. Priscilla Nightail, did you know her?
No, ma'am.
Nancy really good, Hugh?
No, ma'am.
Hey, girls.
No, ma'am.
I used to trade at Mr. Ewing's store. I knew him to speak to.
But which Ewing was that?
George White Ewing.
He's dead.
Is that so?
Been dead for 12 years.
Is that so?
He left quite a bit of money, but his son took over his store and lost it all. Drank.
Oh, is that so? Well, that's one thing I can say about my boy. He never gave me any worry that way.
Well, that's good. I've got one boy that drinks and one boy that doesn't. I can't understand it. I raised him the same way.
I know. I've known of other cases like that. One drinks, the other doesn't.
A friend of mine has a girl that drinks. I think that's the saddest thing in the world.
Isn't it?
Well, good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Come on, Lowell, wake up. Yeah.
Oh, hello, Sheriff.
How long's that old woman been here?
About 4 hours.
Did she get off the bus from Houston?
Yes, sir. I know her name. It's Watts. She left her purse on the bus, and I had to call up to Don Tarl about it.
You have a purse?
Yes, just came.
She's one, all right. Had a call from the Houston police to hold her until her son can come for her.
She said she used to live in Bountiful.
I believe I remember some lots a long time ago over that way. I think that old ramshackly house about to fall in the Brazos River belonged to them.
That right? They must have been before my time. What do the police want her for?
Oh, police gone. It's her son. Wants to take her back home. Claims she's not responsible. She got crazy to you?
Not that I noticed. Is she crazy?
They say so. Poor old thing. She's sleeping so sound I don't have the heart to wake her up. Tell you what, I'll go down and call Houston, tell them she's here. Her son's coming in his car. She'll be here around 7:30. I'll be back in 10 minutes. If she gives you any trouble, just call me. Keep it on!
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you tell me the time?
It's around 4:30.
Thank you. Did my purse arrive?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Could you cash a pension check for me?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, it's a government check and I have identification.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, do you know where I could get a check cashed?
Why?
Oh, well, I need money to get me started in Bountiful. I'm gonna hire someone to drive me out there, look at my house, and get a few groceries and try to find a cot to sleep on.
I'm sorry, lady. You're not going to Bountiful.
Oh, yes, I am. You see.
I'm sorry, lady. You're not going any place right now. I have to hold you here for the sheriff.
The sheriff?
Yes, ma'am.
You're joking with me. Don't joke with me. I've come too far.
I'm sorry, that's how it is.
What's the sheriff got to do with me?
He came a few minutes ago while you were asleep, said I was to keep you here until your son arrived in his car this morning.
My son hasn't got a car, so I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
It's the truth. He'll be here in a little while. You can ask him yourself.
Then you're not joking.
No.
All right, but I'm going. Do you understand? You'll see. This is a free country, and I'll tell him that. No sheriff or king or president will keep me from going back to Bountiful.
All right, you tell him that.
What time is my son expected?
Sheriff says around 7:30.
What time is it now?
I told you, around 4:30.
Where can I get me a driver?
Ma'am?
Well, if you can get me a driver, I can make it to Bountiful and back before 7:30.
Look,
That's
lady.
all I want. It's all I ask. Just to see it. To stand on the porch of my own house once more and walk under the trees. Oh, I swear I'll come back then, meek as a lamb.
Lady,
Last night I thought I had to stay. I thought I'd die if I couldn't stay. But I'll settle for less than much less. An hour, half hour, 15 minutes.
Lady, it ain't up to me. I told you. The sheriff said that I was...
Then get me the sheriff!
Look, lady.
Get me the sheriff! The time is going! They'll have me locked in those 2 rooms again soon. The time is going! The time is going!
Mrs. Watts?
Yes, sir. Are you the sheriff?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I understand my son will be here at 7:30 to take me back to Houston.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you listen to me, sir. I've waited a long time just to get to Bountiful. 20 years I've been walking the streets of the city, lost and grieving. And as I've grown older and my time approaches, I've made one promise to myself, to see my home again before I die.
Lady,
I'm not asking that I not go back. I'm willing to go back, only let me travel those 12 miles first. I've got money, I can pay.
I think that's between you and your son.
Ludi, he's got to do whatever Jessie May tells him to, and I know why she wants me back. It's for my government check.
I don't know anything about that. That's between you and your son.
Won't you let me go?
No, not unless your son takes you.
I've lost. I've come all this way only to lose. I kept thinking back there day and night, those 2 rooms. I kept thinking, and it may mean nothing at all to you. I kept thinking that if I could just step foot there for a minute, even a second, I might get some understanding of why my life has grown so empty and meaningless, and why I've turned into such a hateful, quarrelsome old woman. And before I leave this earth, I'd like to recover some of the dignity and the peace I used to know. For I'm going to die. Jessie May knows that. And she's willful. And it's her will that I die in those 2 rooms. But she won't have her way. It's my will to die in Bountiful.
Mrs. Watts.
Oh, let me go those 12 miles before it's too late. Understand. Suffering, I don't mind. Suffering, I understand. I never protested once, though my heart was broken when those babies died. I can stand seeing the man I love walk through life with another woman. But this 15 years of bickering, just endless petty bickering, it's made me like Jessie May sees me. It's ugly and I won't be that way. I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home.
Hurry, call the doctor.
No, doctor. Bountiful. 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 Oh, I'm home, I'm home, I'm home. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You better sit down and rest for a while. You don't want to overdo it.
Yes, sir. Oh,
Feeling all right?
yes, I am. I feel ever so much better.
You look better. I hope I've done the right thing in bringing you out here. And I don't see what harm they can do as long as you mind the doctor and don't get overexcited.
Oh, yes, sir.
As soon as you've rested for a little, I'll go on back to my car and leave you alone. You can call me if you need anything. I'll stay out here till your son arrives.
Oh, thank you, you've been very kind. Oh, what kind of bird was that?
That's a redbird.
Oh, I thought it was a red bird. I hadn't heard one in so long, I couldn't be sure. Do they still have scissor tails around here? Do
What?
they still have scissor tails around here?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I shall see one every once in a while when I'm driving around the country.
Oh, I don't know of anything prettier than a scissor tail flying around in the sky. Oh, my father was a good man in many ways, a peculiar man, but a good one. One of the things he couldn't stand was to see a bird shot on his land. If men came here hunting, he'd just take a gun and chase them away. I think the birds knew they couldn't be hurt here. Our land was always a home to them. Ducks, geese, finches, blue jays, and bluebirds, and redbirds, and wild canaries, and blackbirds, and mockers, and doves, and ricebirds.
Oh, ricebirds getting thicker every year.
Oh,
They seem to thrive out here on the coast.
well, I guess a mockingbird's my favorite of them all.
I believe it's mine, too.
I don't know, though. I'm mighty partial to scissortail. I hope I get to see one soon.
I hope you can.
You know, my father was born on this land and in this house. Did you know my father?
No, ma'am, not that I can remember.
Oh, I guess there are not many around that remember my father. I do, of course. And my son. Maybe some old timers around Harrison. It's funny, ever since I've been here, I've been half expecting to see my father and my mother walk out of the house and greet me and welcome me home. When you've lived longer than your house and your family, you've lived too long. Maybe it's just me. Maybe the need to belong to a house and a family and a town has just gone from the rest of the world.
How big was your farm, Mrs. Watts?
375 acres were left when my papa died, and I sold off all but the yard and the house. You say the store burned down 15 years ago?
Yes, ma'am, what was left of it. You see, with the good roads we have now in the county, little towns and their country stores were all disappearing. The farmers ride into Cotton or Harrison to trade.
But what's happened to all the farms? For the last 5 miles, I've seen nothing but woods.
I know. The land around Bountiful just played out. People like you got discouraged and moved away. Sold off the land for whatever they could get. H.T. Mavis bought most of it up. He let it go back to timber. He keeps a few head of cattle out here, that's about all.
Callie Davis kept her farm going.
Yes, she did. She learned how to treat her land right, and it began paying off for her towards the end. I've heard she was out riding her tractor the day before she died. Lonely death she had, all by herself in that big house.
There are worse things.
Looks to me like you're gonna have a pretty day.
Oh, I hope so. My daughter-in-law's never seen our place in the sunshine. I expect my son will bring her along with him. I'd hate for her to see it again in the rain.
Yeah, you feeling more rested now?
Yes, I am.
Then I'll be getting on back to my car. You just call me if you need anything.
Thank you. You'll never know what this has meant to me.
Glad I could oblige.
Mama? Mama? Mama! Hello, Mama.
Hello, son.
How do you feel?
Oh, I'm feeling better, Looney.
That's good. They told me at the bus station you had another attack.
Oh, yes, I did. All the excitement, I guess, but I feel fine now.
Yes.
Oh, I got my wish.
Yes.
I hope I didn't worry you too much, Looney, but I just felt like I had to.
I know.
See, son, I know it's hard for you to understand, and Jessie May to understand,
Yes,
but
ma'am. I understand, Mama. It's done now, so let's just forget about it.
All right, son. You did bring Jessie May, didn't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, now she's here. Doesn't she want to get out of the car and look around a little?
She didn't seem to want to, Mama.
You asked her?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, did you ask about your race, son?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Douglas said he likes my work a lot, and he'd be happy to recommend me for a race.
Oh, the sky's so blue, Looney. Did you ever see the sky so blue?
No, ma'am.
Allie Davis died.
That's so. How did that happen?
Oh, they don't rightly know. They found her dead. She'd been riding a tractor the day before they found her. They buried her yesterday.
Well, I shouldn't have made myself bring you here before. I'm sorry. I just thought it would be easier for both of us not to see this house again.
I know, Looney. But now you're here, wouldn't you like to come inside and look around?
I don't think I better, Mama. I don't see the use in it. Just make me feel bad. I'd rather remember it the way that it was.
The old house has got kind of run down, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
I don't expect it to last out the next Gulf storm.
No, it doesn't look like it would.
You know who you look like standing there, Looney?
Who?
My papa.
Do I?
Just like him. Of course, I've been noticing as you grow older, you look more and more like him. My papa was a good-looking man.
Was it?
Seen his picture, did you think so?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I looked at his picture.
Oh, well, he was always considered a very nice-looking man. Do you remember my papa at all, son?
No, ma'am. Not too well. I was only 10 when he died, Mama. I remember the day that he died, I found out about it as I was coming home from school. Lee Williams told me. I thought he was joking, so I called him a liar. I remember the day of the funeral, you taking me into the front room to say goodbye to him. I remember the coffin and all the people there. Old man Joe Williams took me and put me on his knee. Told me that Grandpapa was his best friend, and he was a real example for me to follow. I remember Grandmama sitting by the coffin crying. She made me promise that when I had a son of my own, I would name it after Grandpapa. And I would have, too. I've never forgotten that promise. Well, I didn't have a son or a daughter. Bill Davidson told me his wife is expecting her 4th child. They have 2 girls and a boy now. Bill Davidson doesn't make much more money than I do, and they certainly seem to get along on their own home and car. Those are hard good to hear them tell how they all get along. Everybody has their own job, even the youngest one. This is only 3. She puts napkins around the table at Bill's house. That's her job. Bill said to me, Looney, I don't know how I'd keep going without my kids. I said, I don't know what keeps you going, Looney. what you work for. I said, well, Billy, Mama, I haven't made any kind of life for you. Either one of you. I tried so hard. I tried so hard. Oh, Mama, I lied to you. I don't remember. I remember so much. This house, the life we had here. The night that you woke me up. Trust me, it took me for a walk in the moonlight. And I cried because I was afraid. And Mommy comforted me. Mama, I want to stop remembering. It doesn't do any good to remember. That's Tessie Mae.
Whose car did you come in?
You know, I borrowed Billy Davidson's car. He didn't want me to have it at first. You know how people were funny about lending their cars. But then I explained to him what happened, and he was nice about it. We have to start back now, Mama. Tessie Mae's worried I could lose my job.
Well, didn't you ask for the day off, son?
No, ma'am, I only asked for the morning off.
Well, what time is it now?
It must be after 8. We were a little late getting here.
Oh, well, we can drive in 3 hours, can't we, Ludi?
Yes, ma'am, but we might have a flat or run into traffic or something. Besides, I promised Billy I'd get his car back to him by 12.
Son, why am I going back in home? Why can't I stay?
Mama, you can't stay here.
Ludi,
You know that.
Ludi.
Now, come on.
Ludi, what's happened to us? Why has it come to this?
No, Mama.
To have stayed and thought the land would have been better than this.
Yes,
Pretty soon, it'll all be gone. Oh, 10 years, 20, this house, me, you.
no, Mama.
Oh, but the river will be here, and the fields, and the woods, and the smell of the Gulf. That's what I always took my strength from, Ludi. Not from houses, not from people. It's so quiet. It's so eternally quiet. I had forgotten the peace and the quiet. And it's given me strength once more, Ludi, to go on and do what I've got to do. I found my dignity and my strength.
I'm glad, Mama.
And I'll never fight with Jessie Mae again. Or complain. Do you remember how my Papa always had the fields over there planted in cotton?
Yes, ma'am.
I see it's all woods now. But I expect someday people will come again and cut down the trees and plant the cotton and maybe even wear out the land again. And then their children will sell it and go to cities and the trees will come up again.
I expect so.
We're part of all this. We left it, but we can never lose what it has given us.
I expect so, Mama.
Ludi! Are you coming or not?
We were just starting, Jessie Mae.
Hello, Jessie Mae.
I'm not speaking to you. I guess you're proud of the time you gave us, dragging us all the way out here. If Ludi loses his job over this, I hope you're
I'm
satisfied.
not going to lose my job, Jessie.
Well, you could,
All right, Jessie.
and she should realize that. Did you tell your mama what we were discussing in the car?
No, we can talk about it on the way back to Houston.
I think we ought to have it out right here. I'd like everything understood right now. I've got it all written down. Would you like to read it, or would you like me to read it to you, Mother Watts?
What is it, Jessie Mae?
It's a few rules and regulations that are necessary to my peace of mind, and I think to Ludi's. Now, Ludi says you may have a few of your own to add, and that may be. I'm perfectly willing to listen if you do. But first, I'd like to ask you a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Just what possessed you to run away? Didn't you know you'd be caught and have to come back?
I had to come, Jessie Mae. 20 years is a long time.
Well, what if you had died from the excitement? Didn't you know you could have died?
I knew.
And you didn't care.
I had to come, Jessie Mae.
Well, I hope it's out of your system now.
It is. I've had my trip, and that's more than enough to keep me happy for the rest of my life.
Well, I'm glad to hear it, because that's the first thing on my list. Number one, there will be no more running away.
There'll be no more running away.
Good. Number two, no more hymn singing when I'm in the apartment. When I'm gone, you can sing your lungs out. Agreed?
Agreed.
Number three,
Jessie Mae, you have this wait till we go home.
now honey, we agreed I'm going to handle this. No more pouting. When I ask you a question, I'd like an answer. Otherwise, I'll consider it's pouting. All right. Fourth, with the condition that your heart is in, I feel you should not be running around the apartment when you can walk.
All right, Jessie Mae.
Well, that's all. Do you have anything you'd like to say to me?
Oh, Jessie Mae.
Well, I might as well tell you right now that I'm not going to stay around the apartment watching over you anymore. I'm joining a bridge club and going to town at least twice a week. If you go now, it'll just be your funeral. You understand?
I understand.
All right.
And Mama, we've also agreed that we're going to try and get along with one another from now on. And Jessie Mae also realizes that sometimes she gets upset, but she shouldn't. Don't you, Jessie Mae?
Uh-huh.
All right, so let's start by trying to have a nice, pleasant ride home.
All righty. Is there any water around here? I'm thirsty.
I think so, Jessie Mae. Mama, is there any water around here?
Oh, no, the cistern is gone.
I used to drink out of that creek over there, Jessie Mae. We had a cistern, but I always preferred to drink out of the creek. It always seemed to me the water tasted so much better.
Well, you wouldn't catch me drinking out of any creek. I knew a man once who went on a hunting trip and drank from a creek and caught something and died.
There's nothing like cistern water for washing your hair with. It's the softest water in the world. Oh, that's a red bird.
A what?
A red bird.
Oh, I thought that's what you said. They all look alike to me. Well, come on, let's get going. Do we go back by the way of Harrison?
Yes.
Good, then we can stop by the drugstore. I'm so thirsty I can drink 10 Coca-Colas. Are y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Where's your purse?
Are you talking to me, Jessie Mae?
Now, who else would I be talking to? Since when did Ludi start walking around with a pocketbook under his arm?
I guess I left it inside.
Where?
I get it.
No, I want to go. You'll take all day. Where did you leave it?
Oh, in the parlor right off the front hall.
All right, I'll get it. Now, you stay right here. I don't want to be left alone in this ramshackly old house.
Mama.
Oh, it's all right, Ludi, son.
All right, now here's your purse. Where's the money for that government check?
I haven't cashed it.
Well, where is it?
Right inside the purse.
No, it isn't.
Here, let me look.
What is the matter with you?
That's a good joke on me.
Well, what is so funny?
Oh, I just remembered I left this purse on the bus last night and caused a man a lot of trouble because I thought the check was in there. Do you know? That check wasn't in that purse all the time.
Well, where was it?
Oh. Right here. Been here since yesterday afternoon.
Well, go on, give it to me before you go and lose it again.
I won't lose it.
Don't start that business again. Just give it to me.
Jessie Mae,
Well, I'm not going to let her.
me and them stop this wrangling once and for all. Now, you have given me your word, and I expect you to keep it.
Oh,
We have to live together, and I expect us to live together in peace.
it's all right, Ludi. Let Jessie Mae take care of the check.
Oh, here. You keep the check. Just don't go and lose it before you get home. Now, come on, let's go.
Mama, if I get that raise, you won't ever
It's all
have to.
right, Ludi. I've had my trip. You go ahead, I'll be right there. Oh, look! Isn't that a scissor tail?
I don't know. I didn't see if it was. It flies so fast. Now she looks so big.
Goodbye, Bountiful. Goodbye.